All right. What's up, everybody? We've got ASTREA up here in the top left and Scarlett in the bottom right. It's the battle to see who could become the champion of the Americas. It's now joined with Latin America, but all those other players from Latin America, Canada, and America, other than these two, have all fallen by the wayside. It is America, represented by the San Diego native, ASTREA, up against Canada, represented by Scarlett. She lives somewhere near Toronto, I think. Toronto. Sorry, I got to do that soft T. Don't want to get in trouble with you, you Canadians. I know you're all very, Oh, hold that thought. I can make dumb jokes about Canada lately. We've got a double gate. He's forced her to take the third, and now he's going to punish it with a double gate pressure. He does go for his gas quite late, though. That's actually a pretty late gas. Normally you go gate, gas, then second gate, and it's all just about chronoing adepts across, but ASTREA seems to have something special in store. Scarlett obviously has no idea yet. Her overlords are still just flying across the map, checking she's not getting cannon rushed with this overlord. And looks like the cybercore will be going down pretty darn early here. Oh, no. Wait. Whoa. ASTREA is canceling the cybercore to start a zealot. And then he's full walling with the cybercore? What? I said canceling, but I mean like he delayed it is what I meant to say there. He's going to start mining out his backdoor for a third base. So he's going to wall off the front and just mine open a path to the right. This is a very weird build from him, and she sees it. She sees him chronoing zealots. How do you react to this? Because slow zerglings suck versus zealots. And he's already building a pylon at this base, planning a shield battery rush. This is a dirty plan from ASTREA. He's on 21 workers. He's thinking about a Nexus behind it, but of course he can't afford it. He's got one zealot on the field, a second one, and the third one about to join. He chronos that. Does he go adepts next? And yeah, he uses the chrono. So the chrono overlaps the zealot and goes into the adepts as well. Oh my god. And another pylon. Oh, but he didn't get the extra pylon up in time. I think if he gets... Actually, I think the idea is to surround these zerglings so they can't escape. Ah, he messed up his pylon positioning. Okay, so the way he needs to do this, guys, is the pylon should have been one space to the right, and then that pylon there, and then the zealot could have been one space to the right, and the zerglings would have been trapped as they popped out. But as it is, if these zerglings can pop out and group up, you see, look, he traps those two. He does trap two there. This is, okay, so this is nasty. She's going to take a third base. She has to give this up. She can't defend this. Notice she's not building a queen here because she knows that will get killed by the zealots. So she's just going to be building Zergling's link speed and trying to go on upwards from here. The adepts are about to arrive, though. And that is a dead third base. The double pylon not only creates a choke point, it also walls in half of her production. And this is so far from the main, she can't even pull queens down to help defend. This is a disgusting opening from ASTREA. He starts a new expansion behind it. Scarlett does get her third base up over there, but she got a lot of Zerglings out. Imagine if he killed a few more of those Zerglings as they were popping. He might be able to attack the natural as well. As it is, I don't think he can. Maybe... Oh, look at that. Okay, so he's going to kill the hatchery. Doesn't want to take damage to the broodlings, so he runs off to the left side. Broodlings, very quick units. Adepts and zealots will come in. Link speed's almost done, though. He's got to be careful. He does not want to lose these units. Link speed's finished. Oh, you don't want to... He's going to commit with two adepts, but oh, not worth it. Not worth it. Those lings do get us around. Very quick pull. That adept gets caught. Those guys do snap recall, so maybe it is worth it. The question is, can these guys get home? 3 zealots and an adept. If they're in a corner up against a wall, I think they're okay. But if they're out in the open, they'll get hammered. The pylons are going to get surrounded. Scarlett on 19 workers. She had to build a lot of zerglings here, but now she's back into full probe production. ASTREA is trying to mine open towards the third base. A little supply blocked after losing those pylons. He's got one more pylon building and a Twilight and a Forge on the way. He's going to try and pull back to this choke point. Scarlett, she's thinking about fighting it, but I think that's too many gateway units altogether. And what is she going to go for? Let's go to Scarlett's camera for a little bit. She's blind on what his follow-up is, but I think she realizes, hey, his Nexus has to be massively delayed. A little surprised she didn't poke in with the Overlord to confirm the Nexus timing, just to get a feel for where he's at economically. But it seems she's confident just knowing how much money he invested into the Zealots and Adepts, just how far ahead he can be. She's going to build a Spore Crawler, so she's a little paranoid about Oracles. Seeing that very quick third Nexus... going to make her uncomfortable in the economy. She's spreading creep in every side. You can see she's a little frantic just with her movements. Like, I don't know. She's always very quick. Feels extra frantic right now. Like she's bouncing around. You can always tell when a player's heart rate is through the roof after a very weird situation there. Trying to micro and handle that early game correctly while also just, you know, thinking about things and saying, what is happening? What's his goal? How much do I need to defend? How many drones should I build? Hallucinated Phoenix comes in. That tells us she did not need that Spore Crawler, but it was only one, so not too bad. And she is up in workers by about 6. So I actually think Scarlett comes out on top of this. Yeah, I actually think she comes out significantly on top because normally Protoss doesn't get overtaken on workers till about 40. She's already overtaken him and he's only in the mid 30s. He doesn't really have any follow-up tech. Like just blink and +1 isn't going to do anything to slow her down. So as long as she holds the drone key down, I actually think she comes out way on top of this. A cute opening for ASTREA. I'm not sure it's paid off so far. Look at her creep spread as well. In the absence of any Protoss pressure, she's like, okay, I'm going to spread creep like mad. We're going to see that Scarlett creep spread that she used to be famous for. I say used to because everyone else caught up. Whenever you're a trendsetter in StarCraft, you become really famous for something, then everyone else copies you, they practice the thing, get good at it, and it's no longer your defining characteristic anymore. You were just the first to do it. And Scarlett really was the first player, I would say, to perfect creep spread. And whenever her opponents weren't pressuring her, she would just spread those tumors non-stop across that map. I like the gateway wall off here. Going to 5 gates is ASTREA. He's adding a few more in the main, so make it 7. 7 gate blink, +1 attack. Still down about 9 workers though. Scarlett's also starting at 4th base on the rich gas. Her lair's almost finished. And is she going to play like Roach Hydra Lurker? Or is she going to go melee into Ravager Bane is my question. We'll find out when that Evo Chamber's done. Hallucinated Phoenix is going to come forward. This is the only scouting really for ASTREA. Sees a few roaches, but she turns around, pulls them back. She doesn't want to lose those units. Roach speed's on the way. 69 work is the power of memes here. Scarlett. She's got the meme economy. ASTREA's stopped probing up. He's not taking gases on that 3rd. I think he's worried about dying maybe. But how do you get a 4th base from here? I imagine the top right's the natural point that you go to. He's got a few more gateways coming down. That's going to bring it up a little bit higher. Looks like 8 or 9 gateways in total. Yeah, it's going to be 9. But she's on 70 drones. She's got a 4th base with a rich gas. Infestation pit goes down as well as +1 range. She's going to play lurkers from here. And with just stalkers, I mean, he's got a lot of work to get done. The sentries, the zealots, and the adepts from the early game are not very useful units. This is not that many stalkers just yet. That being said, Scarlett, she's only got, what, 7 Ravagers morphing, 11 Roaches out, 17 Zerglings. Should be enough to defend this 4th base. If she loses the 4th base, then ASTREA's in a decent spot because it's 3 base versus 3 base. But right now, she's got a big army advantage. Biles taking down the force fields, and she is dropping Biles across that Protoss front line as well. Oh man, ASTREA is losing so many units. ASTREA is just way too outnumbered in this game. That early game was not good enough for him. He was looking for an advantage. He finds himself behind off the early game. Scarlett has an easy path here of just hold down the Roach Ravager Zergling key and crush these Stalkers. Hive does start up behind it. Hydra Den goes down. She needs that Hydra Den so she can start the Lurker Den the moment that's finished. Hive takes 70 seconds to build. Hydra Den only 30 seconds. So as long as you go straight Lurker Den afterwards, it'll finish around the time the Hive finishes. You can start those upgrades. ASTREA's thinking about a 4th Nexus right now, but this is not a good start to this best of 5 series. Remember, this is the ESL America's Finals, guys. Is it actually best of 5 or best of 7? I should probably double check that. I can't quite remember which one it was. I think it was best of 7, actually, because I think it was a 4-2 for Serral over Max Packs, right? We'll have to see. Oh, I'll double check that, but I'm going to adjust the scoreboard. Pretty sure it is a best of 7. I'll double check there, guys. Zealots in the main base. ASTREA's trying to get something done, but that's a lot of Zealots to commit. If he can kill the Hive, though. Oh, he's going for a Hive snipe. Big move for ASTREA. If he can get that Hive, it's 20 seconds from finishing. There's no transfuse nearby. The Roach is getting in. She's trying to start it. If she can keep this Hive alive, then she's good. If she loses it, it means she can't get those Lurker upgrades, but she doesn't get... Oh, he doesn't get it. Nowhere close. 600 hit points. So he ends up throwing away a pack of Zealots in a game he's already behind, and he's trying to get to a single Robo Disruptor production. But look at the supply. My god, she has so much stuff right now. Changelings are moving down that right side. Stalker's going to pick those bad boys off. Prism's going to go back into the main base. Roaches are there as well. And Zealots are dropping. Ooh, okay. Stalker's pulling back. Creep does get picked off. Ling backstab could be big, but of course that wall is sealed tight, as is that one. ASTREA not leaving any openings for Scarlett to penetrate. The Zealots are there. Roaches, Ravagers trying to come in. The Ling's still looking for that run by. Actually, top right is a little exposed, but a big Zealot warp in pushes her back. First Disruptor's about to hit the field. If ASTREA had 2 Robo pumping Disruptor, I'd believe in his ability to hold on and survive. By the way, I just realized, guys, she built a lair. She thought the Hive might die, so she already started making a lair just in case. That's actually really cool, the backup lair. It's pretty cheap investment as well. She's got the lurker upgrades, 11 hydras coming out. Now, she doesn't actually have many hydra upgrades. She's got the movement about to kick in. Astrea's still looking for some stalker value. Second robo's on the way, but there's 3 vipers coming. So even though I'm like, yeah, disruptors can keep you alive, not if she's got 3 vipers. She can abduct 6 disruptors with 3 vipers. He's only got 1 right now. A couple roaches go down to the first ball shot. It's decent, but it's not game ending. He's got some zealots trying to make their way down the left. Their shoes upgrade is almost there. Plus 3 attacks on the way as well. Plus 2 range almost finished for the Zerg. 8 lurkers are on the way. She's got the lurker range coming in. She does not have adaptive talons queued up. Neither does she have groove spines for the hydras. A lot of those very gas-heavy upgrades are available at Hive Tech. Prism tries to go in the main. Pack of roaches, a queen, and a few spore crawlers push it back. Zealots on the left side are going to be dealt with by these roaches. Actually, it's a pretty close fight, but charge isn't quite done. There we go. More roaches come in. That's going to allow Scarlett to crush those zealots on the left. In the middle, disruptors coming forward and gets a single lurker. Not too bad there. The zealots get defended. She's going to group up on that right side. Her vipers are just shy of the second abduct, guys. 130, 140, 150 energy. She got about 5 abducts in here. There's only 2 disruptors. It doesn't even matter. Easy peasy. She doesn't even catch them. You know, she just sees them sitting on the edge of the creep. ASTREA loses those 2 disruptors. He doesn't have a Templar arc, guys. He can't make High Templar for feedback. He loses the Observer for vision. He's trying to take a 5th on the right side. But ASTREA, it feels like he's just working with such a deficit of tech and numbers. Scarlett has a gigantic bank. Mass Roach Ravager counterattack is going to go off the left. She's going to tear down that wall. There's a cannon, a battery, some zealots trying to warp in. That ball of Roach Ravager does not care about zealots. Oof. I mean, ASTREA's going to try to blink on it and deal with these roaches. Does have plus 2 finished. Stalkers, any of those dying to this is not great. Scarlett shoves the right side with her lurkers. There is a disruptor here. One big disruptor shot could be game-changing. I don't think Scarlett's seen it. Oh, she doesn't see it. It comes out and gets a giant ball shot. 10 roaches and ravagers go down. Lurkers shoving down the right side at the same time. Is killing that roach ravager really enough? She instantly remaxes on it. She's got so much money in the bank, and those lurkers, they're not getting big economic damage. They could get isolated up there. ASTREA says, screw it, let's leave them there. I'm just going to come back and push in and try to do counter damage. This is not a big army, though. Those lurkers coming in from behind. We've got some lings coming. 1 lurker falls. The Zealot Stalker doing what it can. Time for ASTREA to focus the hatchery and fade away. He's got to get out of here. There is Roach Ravager still tearing down his wall off. He's lost his Cybercore. He has not rebuilt it, which means he can only make Zealots and Disruptors right now. Stalkers pick off a Viper. Not bad. Micro by ASTREA. ASTREA is actually up in supply. I cannot believe it. Dude. How is ASTREA actually up in supply? Scarlett's not got any lava. She can't spend her money. And that Lurker run by did not do nearly as much as it should have. Splits her Roach Ravager to the left, runs the Lurkers down the right. This is not amazing play by Scarlett. I feel like she needed to finish this game a little bit sooner, potentially. She might be letting ASTREA catch up on the tech. He does have a Templar Archives. If he can get Storm and some High Templar out, this could be amazing for him. She's still got the bank to make a very scary remax, and he's still mostly on Zealot Stalker, which is a super low tier army. Where's the Observer? Oh my god, where is the Observer? That Lurker is being a massive pain. He's going to drop a ball to take out that Lurker, but a Disruptor does take out a probe with it. He's pushing forward right now. I think ASTREA just needs to turtle up and defend, clear this creep, and chill out for a minute. Where is that Observer? It's sieged up on the Watchtower. He needs to bring it forward to clear the creep. Scarlett's coming forward. She's still got 1 Viper, and there's only 4 Disruptors. She needs a few more. 3 more Vipers are producing. She's got 8 Lurkers right now. It's Mass Zealot. This is a really bad army for ASTREA. Oh, he lands a giant ball on the Hydras. What the hell is going on? This was game over, wasn't it? I thought honestly ASTREA was dead, but Scarlett, she's got 20 lava and no gas. Oh my god, I can't believe this. This game is wild. This is unexpected and wild. I do say ASTREA needs to be building Immortals right now. He's got some Disruptors. If he protects those, I guess they can defend against the Lurkers, but a few Immortals in the mix would be a really good way to make sure he holds that front line. He's making lots of Archons, Plasma Shields to go with his +3 weapons upgrade. The Lurkers come in. There's an Observer and some Zealots on the free Lurker kills for these Zealots. This game is getting weird. ASTREA's on 92 probes. Now, I don't think it's an argument, guys. That's just too many. There is no way he has enough minerals to do that. He's got 12 out of 6 there, 10 out of 8, 12 out of 12, 18 out of 16, 18 out of 16. He's a little oversaturated on those bases. Not too bad just yet. Oh, he throws 6 Disruptors, but the abducts are big. He gets 2 or 3 Lurkers. He loses a bunch of those Disruptors. That one barely escapes. No, it doesn't. Second abduct comes in for the finish. Zealots take out her purple gas base, though. She does lose one of those. ASTREA instantly Remaxes. He's got so many Zealots. Where are they, guys? He's warping them in like bloody 9 at a time. And there's just always so many more Zealots on the map. He's going to go forward. No way. I cannot believe he's breaking through her defensive position right now. This is insane. Scarlett had map control, but the Lurker style's very immobile. He's caught her out of position a few times. He does lose some valuable units, but I feel like she's so spread so thin right now. She's having trouble hanging on. The Zealot's just going to split on that base. The 92 probes, if he can transfer probes to that top left base, I mean, he's just outmining her, right? Her income, pretty similar right now on the income. It's not too much difference as we speak, but we'll see how that changes over the next minute. Stalker Archon Disruptor coming in towards the purple gas base again. And ASTREA pulling a rabbit out of a hat. He was camping on 3 base for a long time. And Scarlett, it seems, a little bit thrown off by the weird kind of pacing of this map. Map 1 in this series. ASTREA does blink forward, gets a Viper. He's got to be careful about throwing too many of those Stalkers away. Those are not cheap moves. But he's trading a fair bit better than her. And with 92 workers, that's looking pretty good for him. Cannon and some Zealots should be able to defend if he can block it. Oh my god, he probe blocks the Lurker. That was a brilliant maneuver. Stalker's coming forward, but the wall of spines. Oh, that's a bit too much Hentacle, I think. And Scarlett's going to tap out. A disaster of a game for Scarlett and a fantastic comeback from ASTREA. The opening did not work out. We have to do just a little bit of analysis on what happened there to explain, because that turned around at a really weird point where it felt like Scarlett, she had a giant bank. She was a little slow to press forwards across the map, right? I think this is the point, though, right? She's got Lurkers coming in, Vipers. She's got 3 Vipers. She's got 8 Lurkers. She should be able to win the game here. But this is where something kind of odd happens, right? And that's where she splits all that Roach Ravager off the left side. She's got so much Roach Ravager, and his Zealots pinning her back on both sides because he was threatening the main, threatening the left. She ends up saying, well, these Zealot run-bys are just going to keep coming in. He's not letting me push. I really want to go force a fight. I got some Disruptors, great. She says, you know what? Let's just clean up any new Zealot run-bys coming down the left and go for a counter-attack at the same time. The problem is, she could defend the right with Roach Ravager and attack the left with Lurkers. The problem is, she wants to use Lurker Viper right now because ASTREA has no answer to that Lurker Viper. Roach Ravager, not the best composition. Now, she's getting good trades. She's cleaning up Zealots, and she's still in a fantastic position at this stage. For some reason, she's still building Zerglings. I don't know why she was building Zerglings. She has no upgrades for them. She's only been playing single Evo Chamber this whole time, so I don't think that made a lot of sense. And this trade's perfectly fine to start. The problem happens when she then decides to shove unsupported Lurkers up the right side with the Vipers, and then starts losing the Roach Ravager as well. So these Lurkers don't do what they needed to do. If she took out this base and this base, I think this would have been okay. But I don't think she does. She takes that big whopping Disruptor shot. She continues fighting there. She just kind of A-moves the Roach Ravager, lets it die. ASTREA gets between her Lurkers and her bases, and she tries to pull these Lurkers home. But I really feel if she kept these Lurkers up here and killed this base and this base, she'd be better off. She loses this. She's still got 4 bases up. Her Remax of Roach, Hydra, Zergling, whatever it is, can defend because this army's just not that big. It's just a Pack of Zealot Stalker, right? And her Lurkers can do okay. But meanwhile, there's Disruptors efficiently cleaning up there. Her Lurkers are kind of trying to come home to defend. And this base had no detection on it, right? He has an Observer there, but he didn't even have the APM or the wherewithal to bring that Observer back. He had no detection here. She could have left Lurkers here. The problem is, ASTREA is stressed, right? By this attack, he's microing that, he's microing this. He doesn't know where his Observer is right now. He's freaking the heck out and just trying to do anything he can. So pulling back here, I think, was a big mistake for Scarlett. And she also kind of froze up and stopped injecting during this, right? So I think she pulled all of her queens to the front. She's only got 3 queens, and she's got them on a hotkey. She's pulled them to the front. So she completely stops injecting during this, and then she just doesn't have the bank to use it. And her Lurkers, because she's kind of just got them burrowed off here, and ASTREA kind of shuffles to the left. He keeps avoiding her Lurkers. And then she's like, okay, quick, well, let's get back in there with this Lurker harass. But he stops that Lurker getting in. This one doesn't really do anything, just gets cleaned up by a Disruptor. And despite having a massive tech disadvantage, ASTREA, with his movement and his Zealot pressure and his multi-prong, is able to kind of create opportunities for himself and also create a situation where Scarlett was able to make 1 or 2 tactical mistakes with her army movement, and this bought him the time to get more Disruptors out, to start focusing Vipers down with good Stalker micro. She took a long time to rebuild these 3 Vipers. She didn't realize so many of them got sniped by the Stalkers, and he's able to get back in the game. Really fascinating Game 1 turnaround by ASTREA. Alright, guys, let's go. Scarlett in the bottom right side of the map. And she had a rough game one. Let's see if she can turn it around. ASTREA in the top left. He's going to go for what appears to be a pylon block again. Now, I noticed that Scarlett already has a camera location in the bottom left, which means she might actually be putting her fourth base there, or planning to. Okay, so she's moving out. Yeah, it looks like she wants to expand in a straight line along the bottom left of the map. And that's because this base is very exposed to Protoss Stalker pushes. I like that choice. I think that's a good way to play it. She's going to take that base there, moving on into the main. ASTREA says, cool, looks all standard, no sneaky spawning pool or nothing like that. And he's going for the gateway there as well. Now, I do sometimes see people leave the choke point in the wall there because they're planning to take this third. But otherwise, I think just go Cybercore there, and the last building is perfectly fine. Pretty standard opening so far, nothing too special. As probe continues to harass. I like that Scarlett actually damages the probe and just kind of says, get out of here. And each time you get a hit, and then she just goes back to mining. She loses almost no mining time. This microing workers on and off mineral patches to minimize the probe harassment, I think is one of the easier ways to deal with the probe harass and limit how much annoyance it can do. ASTREA really hasn't found any real damage just yet. And Cybercore does go down. He's going to keep trying to now harass two patches at once. And she's just counter-microing it quite well. Causing a nuisance, though, is ASTREA. And it looks like he's finally going to get out of there in a second. Spawning pool finishing means those units are going to come up. Now, that last game has to be very frustrating for Scarlett. She could have grabbed her whole army and shoved that right side of the map. She did not need to send 40 roaches down the left. That was a big mistake for her. And also pulling all of her queens. I imagine for the warp prism at some point she pulled them, and then she just stopped injecting for a while. Couldn't spend her cash. A very tough situation to be in. She had such a big advantage, tech advantage, and economy advantage, and wasn't able to leverage it. And it's very rare at this level of play to see a player let go of a lead like that. So don't get me wrong, ASTREA, with his movement and his harassment with the Zealots, created those opportunities for himself. Like, he went for the big hive snipe. You could tell, I think from the very start, he already raised her adrenaline, got her heart pumping a little bit too fast. Didn't feel like she was comfortable in the situation she was in. And actually, ASTREA's going robo. All right, ASTREA is only pulling out special tactics. He does not want to play a standard late-game defensive PvZ. He hates that stuff. He's much more of an action-packed player. He likes fun strategies, back-and-forth builds. And he can play, you know, super greedy or super aggressive. But he's going to try and finish it in the mid-game, I would imagine. You know, he can play late game if he has to, but he isn't going to go there as his first option. It's going to be, if it goes there, we go there. But I would much rather look for a victory earlier on.
Thank you for all you do, Pig.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Justin. Didn't realize I left those alert sounds on, but thank you so much for the love, mate. Might as well give you a thank you. Sorry to those watching on YouTube. Big thanks to all of you for watching and supporting as well. But very, very big thanks to that, mate. Now, this is the grand finals. It is a best of 7, guys. Let me fix that scoreboard. Sorry, I was correct on that. A correction in the first game. Check that after that one. And yeah, it was a 4-2 for Serral over Max Pax. Also a PvZ. Interesting, because it really feels like at the moment it is the season of Terrans. Terrans have been doing a lot better in this season than previously. Whether it's a map pool thing, the balance change with the Raven being a little more accessible. Don't know exactly what the reason is for that. I mean, I think top 4 of GSL was all Terran. And Spirit's been doing great. Clem not doing too bad. He's starting to fix his weaknesses. Nice trap. Very good move by ASTREA there. Now, ASTREA's got an Immortal and a Warp Prism out, guys. Where is that Warp Prism? Coming across the map right now. I think her Zergling saw it. She's got a bunch of Lings on the way and a Roach. Roach Horn coming up. He's going to build more gateways. Is he just full committing to a 2-base all-in? He's still probing right now. But ASTREA, it looks like he's committing to like a big Immortal push maybe in the future. He only takes 1 gas there, and it's not the one that's in vision of her. I feel like he probably wants to take that. He's making sentries behind us. 4 Adepts come in. This really does look like a Glaive Adept build, but it's not. It's just a Warp Prism and 4 unupgraded Adepts. He gets 2 drones. She goes back to 8 workers. She was down on 38 workers, lost 2, so she was down on 36 for a moment, which is a very low economy. She cancels the Spore Crawler in the main, realizing, oh, this isn't Dark Templar. She was starting to think it was Dark Templar. And that means she is very low on economy for a little bit. She now pops up above ASTREA in economy. Oh, look at that. He delays the Shade because he doesn't want her to have time to respond. He wants her to have very little time to pull her units to respond. Shade's in. Gets a drone. Oh, He's going to leave one adept there, which actually, since the Prism distracted, does get 2 more workers. Not too bad. Prism gets out of there. Careful. Queens come off creep. 2 scaring back. She's on 6 queens right now. 4 more roaches are building. Another immortal is coming. That's going to be a 3 immortal timing attack. But surely she sees no third base. And seeing no third, she should be doing nothing but mass roaches and trying to get roach speed. Oh god, her lair is really late though. With no lair, that means no roach speed. She's got good creep spread, which will help. But she needs mass ravages and zerglings. She's making a baneling nest. I think she thinks no, it was going to be charge zealots. But now she sees the sentries. She's got to realize what's up. She cancels the baneling nest. We're on Scarlett's vision. She sees mass sentry. She's got roaches. Building as much as she can. She's going to pull the spores to the front as well as what I would imagine is her next play to help shoot down the prism. She's trying to spread creep on that front path. She's got to pull back these overlords. This is a big scary push right now from ASTREA. It's all about the force fields, guys. 3 immortals, a ton of gateway units, lots of force fields. It's just past 6 minutes. It's a very early push. She's going to come down the left flank and look to zone up her army. She's going to need pure Ravager Ling production from here. Lings aren't great versus those Zealots. That's the problem you're going to run into. She's going to try and backstab the wall, but she's a little slow sending those Lings across the map to do that. She might need them here on the front. Force fields could be deadly. Get out of there. If force fields splitting her army here could ruin Scarlett's day. She's got to try and avoid these force fields. If she can kind of bait them out and pull back before they land, that would be ideal for her. But look at this. ASTREA sets up a front and he holds position. Lings are already on that left side for the flank. Uh-oh. She panic pulls them in. 1 Ravager gets caught. She's wasted most of ASTREA's force fields by now. There's still a few left though. Enough for 1 big barrier. 2 go down, trapping 3 roaches up front. Nice moves for ASTREA. The force fields are mostly gone. There's only 1 or 2 left. That force field does not achieve that much. That one does block it up a little bit, but those are mortals raining down death and destruction. Lings coming in from behind. More zealots are warping in. The counter to those zerglings. The stalkers dodging the biles. And this is a devastating push from ASTREA. An incredibly surprising one as well. Immortal Sentry, not something you see very much these days. I believe it was classic at Katowice though, that caught Scarlett off guard with multiple Immortal Sentry pushes, and she died to those even when she was in what looked like good opening positions. ASTREA studied those games, said, you know what, I think Scarlett's weak to the Immortal Sentry, and learning from classic and old school champion, a very good move for ASTREA there, goes up 2-0. All right, guys, he's up 2-0 with a nasty time, and he's going for a gas first, no scout build. ASTREA blocking her hatchery twice, now goes for the greediest opening in the book. Scarlett says, well, at least I get my hatchery on location, but she should know what this means. Usually this means, okay, if you didn't scout yet, maybe that probe comes in, but if it doesn't arrive in the next 30 seconds, then that means this is going to be a very greedy, streamlined opening for the Protoss opponent. Gateway did start 20 seconds ago, so that was 44 seconds, not the earliest gateway. I feel like that could delay the Cybercore slightly. He's actually going to probe scout. Oh, he's a little worried about 12 pool. Scarlett's very cheesy. When she plays Neeb, she's so cheesy, right? She loves to try and cheese Neeb, and she's not a big fan of just playing straight up games versus Protoss. So fair enough, biggest map in the pool. I don't know if he planned to probe scout from the start, but he's decided to now. And he's going to go. Nexus is a bit late. He sends that probe down late, pulls it off gas. It's a 21 Nexus. I think ASTREA decided to do that probe scout at the last second. This feels like he's kind of changed his mind about his build order a little bit after realizing, oh god, I don't want to lose to a 12 pool. Probe is going to go in for the Scouty Scout. Looks like a pretty standard opening for Scarlett. Hatch gas pool. Second gas going up in the main. We've got the warp gate there, gateway as well. Where are you going? Okay, guys, what is this probe for? It's wait. You can't go proxy Stargate now. What is ASTREA planning? Is he just going to warp in adepts from the corner of the map? This is a very odd probe. So this is what we call a naughty boy probe. It's where you know he's up to something sneaky with that later on. He knows he's not going to be able to sneak a probe out later without getting spotted. So he's already planning to do some form of proxy later on in the game. You could argue it's just to slide a scout in, but why bother? You've got an adept on the map. You've got oracles out soon after that. No need for that. Third queen's on the way for Scarlett. She's got the creep connecting the bases. Obviously opening with an inject in the main. No inject in the natural. I do like a lasers adjustment in this matchup where he'll inject the natural and bring the queen from the main to spread the creep. Delays the creep a few seconds. Actually, I think he does that versus Terran, doesn't he? Not versus Zerg. Anyways, not versus Protoss. Overlord's going to try to fly in towards the main base. Australia's opening looks pretty standard. I don't see any weird variation just yet. I mean, for me, I'd imagine it's like a Void Ray after the Oracle, and then he just goes for a Proxy Gate and does a Charge Load all in or something crazy like that. We'll have to find out. The Adept went in. Oh, sorry, guys. My bad. I should have been watching that Adept. I'm so used to it doing that. He got a drone and 2 Spore Tricks. That's a huge mistake for Scarlett, guys. That's a huge mistake. Bad observing for me. I'm thinking a little bit too much about the cheeky, naughty probe over there. But that's a big amount of damage for a single Adept to do, and the Adept surviving. Oracle is out. Astrea's just chilling with it right now. I guess he wants to make sure he can get his third base up. He does end up sending it forwards. Why is he pulling back? Does he think he's being all in? Oh, I think he saw a lot of drones missing. I think he thinks he might be being all in. He's got a Stalker in the wall, and it's not properly placed. Zerglings, I believe, can slide through in between that and that gateway. It needs to be forward just a tiny bit. Third base does go down, though. There's 2 Oracles out. Playing exceptionally safe is ASTREA. Seems like ASTREA is maybe a little paranoid this game. He's got a Twilight Council. Second gateway. This could be a Glaive Adept opening. That's a very fast Twilight Council. 4 gateways go up, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a pylon on that left part of the map, or maybe even bring it down and put it down here for faster warp-ins. 2 more Adepts are in the way. A third gas comes in. Twilight Council does go for Glaives. Yeah, it's going to be Glaive Adept. Okay, so Scarlett's on 46 drones right now. Oracles dive in. They actually could have dived that mineral line. He didn't know that there's no Spore Crawler in there. She was late on that, but she gets away with it. And this is probably the best opening Scarlett's had so far in this. No, actually, remember, game 1, she was way ahead. It's much better than last game. Oracle's going to come in. 1, 2. Ooh, 3 drones. Gets in, gets out. Oracles stay healthy. Very nice micro. Oh, all right, guys. 2 Adepts. Going to be warping in on that left part of the map. Nidus Worm. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Scarlett's going Queenling Nidus. She's doing the Chadray Annihilator, a very late version of it. This is Dark Special all in. The Chadray Annihilator, it's very weak versus Glaive Adept. This is not a good matchup of builds for her. Glaive Adept ruins this opening. She's picked the wrong build. She's also hitting incredibly late with it. I don't think this is well executed, even though it's good to show a lot of drones to trick your opponent into feeling safe. The problem is that you're going to hit so late in the game. He's got time to mass Adepts. He can just recall these Adepts. As long as he doesn't leave his door open. If he F2s and leaves his door open, that might be the one thing that works. Here we go. Okay, ASTREA. Go to ASTREA's camera. We're on ASTREA's camera. He recalls the Adepts, but they go to his third, not his main. But that does at least defend the third base. The Stalker moves out of the wall. No! Okay. No! No, 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 no. Oh my god, that Stalker barely gets back in position to block it. But you know what? Give up the third. You don't even need that. He's going to warp in 2 Adepts in the choke point, try to get a shield battery up. He could maybe defend that. The Adepts in the main, if they get a shield battery up, that's going to be massive. Those probes on the right side, lots of them do start to fall. The Oracles at the third base will defend that. A lot of Lings are going to go down there. She needs to back away. That's a bad fight for her. She's focusing on the main right now. Lings do go over to the natural. The Stalkers and the Adept come up. He's got a shield battery in each base. He's got a lot of Glaive Adepts. He has the hard counter to her style. She needs to pull out of this right here, right now. Back on everyone's vision now, of course. The Adepts here trying to come in. The Lings are still over at that third base, but the choke points are being held. The Adepts coming in from all angles. She's getting overrun. And this is not working out for Scarlett. ASTREA bringing out some really clever builds in this series. And Scarlett's builds are not finding the mark. That wall of Adepts does not care about Zerglings. They just disappear as they go in. And look at the trades, man. 2-to-1 efficiency. The mass wall of Adepts as the Queens fall. That was the one thing going for Scarlett here, was those Queens being very tanky versus the Adepts. And ASTREA finds himself up 3-0. What a wildly unpredictable grand finals this is. All right, guys. Up here in the top right, we got Scarlett. And she needs to win 4 games in a row. This is a tall task for her. She sends the drone out on time, though. She's going to try and take that base. Send another drone. You got to send another drone. Okay, no, he pulls back. She knew that was a feint. She knew he was going to go back. And she takes that third base on 17 supply. Not too bad there for Scarlett. Now, what do you do here? You're up against the fence. Things aren't going your way. I do think that build just hit a bit late in the last game, but let's be real. Against Glaive Adepts, I don't know if the Chadray Annihilator ever works against that. That build, excuse me, was designed to take out triple Oracle, 4 Oracle builds, or even initially it was like Oracle into, 2-star Void Ray builds, where bam, there's 8 Queens, the Void Rays can't do anything, there's Lings swarming in, 2 gate of unupgraded gateway unit production is not enough to defend it. But even getting the Nidus up without him noticing in the main, Glaive Adepts just counter it so hard. All right, Nexus is up. Cybercore. It's going to go 21 Cybercore. That's interesting. Astrea's been doing that a little bit more. Squeezing extra probe in here or there. Get that mining going. Second gas goes down. Build one more probe, and then second pylon should go down in just a moment. And I imagine that'll be over here. Nope, over there. Going to be able to hide the buildings back here. One of the harder places for the Zerg to scout. Probe does accidentally mine 5 minerals, but spawning pool's done. Zerglings will be out soon. It's time to leave anyway. And he's just going to kind of head on home with that after doing a little bit more checking that there's no mass ling coming. Scarlett, looks like her build's pretty standard. She should be starting ling speed and pulling 2 workers off gas. Yep, she's just going to leave 1 in there so that she can go for a fast lair if she needs it. This is a really solid opening for Scarlett. She's just got to keep that going. There's going to be Chrono Adepts coming across. There's a Stargate. ASTREA, he's going to put some pressure on. It's the standard pressure, but it's easy to make mistakes against that now. He actually pylon blocks her third from going down. That's not going to work. If she only built 2 lings, they can't out DPS a building pylon, and you can maybe do that. But without going Cybercore first, very unlikely you'll pull that off. The Adept is going to head towards the third base, try to pick off some drones. Stargate coming in right now. And chronoing probes behind it. Stalker coming out as well to deny future scouting from the Overlord. Scarlett, she's on 25 workers, going to 27. Man, if ASTREA gets a 4-0 after how Game 1 started, this would be such a crazy series. What a cool way to start the series as well. I really feel he put Scarlett on the defensive. He doesn't know what to expect after that weird Pylon Zealot rush in Game 1. That was such a cool strategy. Adept's going to come forward, shade in towards the main base. He's just keeping her drones up in the main for now. He's not going to get any real damage done. Cancels his shade, hangs out in the mineral line for now. That'll lure the queen to the low ground, force her down there. First oracle's on the way. Probe count looks good. Little benchmark for you Protoss players out there, guys. If you're doing a standard 1-gate expand build, what you want to do is... wait, where'd that Adept shade? Oh, there it is. You want to check by 4 minutes, your expansion should be at 16 out of 16 workers. Nice quick third base here. Second oracle's on the way. First oracle's coming across, and you can see, guys, he's hitting 16 workers at about 353. So just a good way to check that you've been building workers non-stop. Adept does take out a drone there. Oracle's going to go in. Queens need to target on it. Ooh, 4 drones. Oh, he goes back for more. Greedy boy. Greedy boy ASTREA gets punished, gets 4 drones, but the Oracle does take a bit of damage. And she's down on 31 drones versus 41 probes. Oh, this sucks for Scarlett. This is really not good. The Oracle is waiting at home, which is important. Otherwise, those lings could cancel that base. She's just going to dive in. Oh, ASTREA, what are we doing, buddy? Little slow on the reaction. That means that probe and that pylon get canceled. Adept has to warp in. Oracle has to come home. Allow Scarlett some time to drone back up. She's got an Evo chamber. She's going to try to go +1 melee. Looks like a more standard Blink versus Mass Zergling style. But as I say, that 3 gateways coming up pretty early. Is this just going to be a committed plus no Forge Blink timing? It looks like it for ASTREA. He's building another Oracle right now, so he's going to go for a 3rd Oracle. Hasn't started Blink just yet. I'm waiting for it. Seems like his build order is slightly disjointed. Does want to do a timing attack, though, by the looks of it. +1 melee Zerglings will be the answer to that. If she can backstab his 3rd base when he moves out, that'll be the best way to do it. Force a bunch of warp-ins at home, then bring those Zerglings back for the surround on that Stalker pressure when it comes. Of course, I'm talking a bit ahead of the action right now. We don't know that he'll commit to that. He could still drop a Forge, Robo, any of that sort of tech, but for now it's just mass Stalkers. And I wouldn't be surprised if after these couple of Stalkers, he hides these units. Oh, going for the surround on the Adept. That's a bit of a crazy move there for Scarlett. She trades about 8 or 9 Zerglings for 1 Adept. Not her best trade. She's got the 4th base going up at the front right now. 60 workers is more than enough for Scarlett. That's a 3-gas, 60 drone style. She's got to make mass Zerglings or she will not be able to stop that Stalker attack. As I say it, he goes back to probing, drops a Forge. ASTREA's build is confusing me right now. I'm not quite sure what he thinks is happening in this game or what his goal is. Maybe he was expecting a Queen Walk or something, but now he sees the Evo Chamber, which tells him that Scarlett's aiming for a macro game. He's going to take out 2 Queens. That was some really good Oracle micro. 2 Queens go down. I think he grabbed a drone on the way out as well. It's up to 5 drones in total have been killed. Scarlett, she's got the 4th and the 5th base building. If she gets these up, she's going to have a massive swarm. ASTREA! What is this troll build? Is this a real build, or is he just trolling? I honestly can never tell. He's taking a gold nexus next to her base, which he can use to retreat to and battery overcharge his stalkers. My god, ASTREA might be one of the most... I don't know, 300 IQ or brain damage. Do you guys tell me? The man always plays with some flair. He never just chooses a clean, simple, easy option. The audacity of that expand, man. Zergling's getting swarmed. I told you guys, run by on the counter-offensive is always a problem. When you're relying on this, the oracles are coming back with the probes. The probes are getting slaughtered. Oh, no. Okay, he's losing 4 probes. The lings are there. He does get the base up, but it's a big amount of damage going in. Losing the cannon and the battery just before they finished was a problem. ASTREA was prepared for a ling run by a little bit, but leaving the cannon battery on the outside, not the best. A couple of adepts do warp in on that base. They will be able to defend any future Zergling run bys. A wall off being forced, though. And this is just great backstabbing by Scarlett. She's continuing to do nothing but build Zerglings, guys. She's playing a 1-unit challenge. She says, I get it. ASTREA's a genius. He's got 300 IQ. He's very smart. He's very creative. What if I just do a meme build? What if I just make Zerglings? And it's actually the right thing to do here. The stasis trap only gets a few of these Zerglings. The lings are focusing down the shield batteries from behind. There's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Battery overcharge will go down very quickly after getting activated. The pylon falls. The Zealots trying to hold the left side. Nicely done. I do feel maybe Scarlett could have surrounded those stalkers a little better. Oracles turn on their laser beams, but they're both out of juice. And with the Oracles out of juice, ASTREA is exposed. His Zealot's going to try and hide back in the middle line. He's going to try to get that gold base back up. His blue base is also looking in trouble. Now, he's way ahead on the workers, though. So if he can actually get a bunch of probes recalled to that gold base... Oh, he's got to heal that. He's got to heal that. Battery overcharge is being used, though. Oh, ASTREA's wall is going to get breached, guys. He doesn't have enough warp-ins right now. He's trying to wall in, and actually, she shift-clicked it back. She didn't expect him to leave that wide open. He's now building 2 cybercores, one in the wall, one behind the wall as a backup wall. The man says the counter is the wall. He says, I represent America, and I'm going to build a wall to keep out these dirty Zerg. They keep trying to come in and steal our minerals. And his hard-working probes have said, never again. But uh-oh, Massling Bane coming in from the right side. Scarlett's still only on 58 drones. She says the only good Protoss is a dead Protoss. Let's go. Oh no, the Banelings all blew up on one Zealot. She's still got a few left though, and they're going to get in the mineral line. A couple of big juicies get in there, and these Lings are rampaging. More Banelings running in the right as well. Those Lings don't have the best surface area, but look at those slow Zealots. Oh, the Banelings are huge on these Zealots. If you could blow up the pylon as well, that would be massive. Oh my god. Massive plays here for Scarlett. She cleans up the base on the other side as well. ASTREA's gold base build doesn't get a chance to get started. And Scarlett stays low on economy, keeps massing Ling Bane, and she says, no, no, how dare you take a gold base on my side of the map, you absolute troll toss. Scarlett stays alive for now. Alright, he drops his first map in this grand finals, but he finds himself now in a very cramped map. Sorry, guys. Bad observing there. ASTREA in the bottom right. Scarlett in the top left, representing Shopify Gaming, of course, and ASTREA is representing no one, I believe, in this finals. Maybe he was still playing for Alpha X at the time. Unfortunately, he has departed from them, as Alpha X has disbanded, and he is now on the Matcherino team these days. So shout out to Alpha X for having such a great career support of ASTREA and watching him ascend to become one of the North American greats. But now to have Matcherino supporting him, really good to hear that they are supporting the North American locals. The probe tracking the drone. He doesn't want to let her get the expansion. She's just going to move out and take that third base. So this map's really small. Great for glaive adept pressures. Really good for any sort of timing push like that Immortal Sentry that he did on the... what map was that where he did the Immortal Sentry? That was Dragon Scales, wasn't it? Probe harass being annoying. Does bounce some of her drones away. She says, okay, I'm done with that. Just send a drone to attack it. This can be a little tilting. It just forces you to do all these little actions to deal with it. Does drop the spawning pool. That probe continuing to rotate around. Gonna go for that 20 Nexus. Do we see 21 Cybercore again? We'll keep our eye on that just with the Protoss build order. The probe is getting counter-microed well here by Scarlett. Just making sure he can't really do too much. And indeed, it's going to be 21 Cybercore. So he goes Nexus on 20, builds a probe, then goes Cybercore on 21. Seems like a very interesting adjustment. It's a small adjustment, but it does make a difference. Apparently, ASTREA says it's just slightly more optimal. All right, probe still dancing around here. What do you bring out on this map? Queen Walk is tempting. I'm deep in thought right now. I'm thinking if I'm in Scarlett's shoes, he goes Stargate again, I'm Queen Walking. Obviously, it kind of sucks because you really can't risk losing the game in a silly way, but it's like, you kind of have to. You can't just play too safe. You can't just play defensive. And I think on a small map like this, a Queen Walk is a great way to counter a Stargate. It is a Stargate. I wouldn't have minded her in one of these games just queuing the Overlord straight through the main base to see what tech it was. Very rarely do top-level players go Stalker first. It's almost always Adept. So it's a good way just mixing that in like 1 in 3 games. Just to say, hey, if you never go Stalker first, I'm going to get free scouting with my Overlord. See what tech you're going. Makes my whole next follow-up much easier. Here we go, Adept shading forwards. Going to try and get a little bit of damage, but the third base is already down. Scarlett's got a Creep Tumor in the main. No Creep Tumor on the third just yet. And 2 Zerglings and a Queen should stop that from shading. Shading in here would be kind of dangerous. ASTREA says, I like to dance with danger, mate. I visit the elephant graveyard as one of my hobbies. Just to impress girls that go on Tinder dates with me, you know? I take them down to the elephant graveyard until the hyenas try to eat me. Does end up getting 2 Zerglings and gets out. I mean, it's worth it, right? Gets a full scout. He also saw that she was... I guess she's just put back on gas, actually. So, no, he didn't see that. First Oracle's about to pop. Moving out to take a third base. ASTREA's going to have a very clean third base timing. First Oracle starts its way across the map. Do we have a chrono boost for that second Oracle? Yep, 50 energy comes in. Looks like Nexus. Pro pulls away. Chrono's the Oracle. Just like clockwork, never forgetting these details. ASTREA is on point right now. The Adept goes in. That is a distraction Adept. It's going to take out 1 drone. Oracle comes in and grabs 2, 3. Goes to the 4th, changes its mind, turns around. But 5 drones in total. The Adept actually got 2 kills there. The Oracle got 3. 5 drones in total is fantastic for just having an Oracle damaged a little bit. Losing 1 Adept. That's great. Extra pylons are being built inside the bases. He doesn't have a pylon at the 3rd. Interesting choice to not commit to that. Scarlett's got 8 Zerglings out here. She's got to be wary. If 2 Adepts slide across the map and we're hidden over there, with her Lings stuck on his side of the map, she would not be able to defend a 2 Adept shade-in. So she's playing a little risky right now. She thinks of going for the pylon, but he's not taking the bait, not turning those Oracles on. Stalker's going to chase after the Overlord. Oracle will now turn it on and gets 2 Zerglings with his nice Oracle micro. Evo Chamber's on the way. She wants to play Mass Ling once again, and he's playing Blink Stalkers again, guys. ASTREA says, yeah, you got me with Mass Ling. Mass Ling's good versus Blink Stalker Oracle, because you can run away when the Oracles turn their lasers on, and you just take so much overkill damage from Stalkers. What always happens is the Stalkers are all shooting like 1 or 2 Lings at the front. The first 2 volleys, it's like 10 Stalker shots hit 1 Zergling. Obviously, it takes very few Stalker shots to kill a Zergling. The Stalker damage output sucks. They don't attack very fast. Lings, on the other hand, do crazy damage. They're very fast, so the mobility advantage of Blink is kind of diminished against them. But does ASTREA say, well, I'll go Colossus? You go in every Ling, I'll go Colossus. She'll have to go into Ravagers, Roaches with that, and potentially Hive. He could also go Disruptors. He could just micro his Stalkers like a god, or he could play that Mass Gateway style with Charge. We'll see how it goes. Roach Warren is on the way. Very late. 5-minute 30 Roach Warren for Scarlett. She's lost 5 drones in this early game. And let's just say, hats off to ASTREA for so consistently playing such a good early game. His Oracle harass, his Adept harass has really been on point, and it's what set him up for this series to be looking so good with him up 3-1. It really is often those little Adept Oracle combos that he's using where he lures her out of position or distracts her with the Adepts. The Oracle comes in, gets damage. How many times have we seen Protoss players can't get a single kill or only 1 on their first Oracle and it's already heavily damaged? And it just feels like such a better start for the Zerg. But instead, ASTREA taking a 4th. He's on 64 workers. He takes a 5th gas out here. He's going to wall off this mineral line for the most part to make it Baneling-proof, make it hard for Zergling run-bys to get in there. And this is really interesting. He's going up from 4 gateways to 8 gateways. After that, he sees a macro hatch in the Evo Chamber. He knows what he's up against. +1 attack does finally start here. Her +1 melee is already almost finished. We might see a second Forge. He goes Templar Archives in charge very early. So yeah, he's opened Blink. Because he sees her massing Zerglings, he says, well, I'm not going to go out on the map and let you kill my Stalkers. I'll just wall off and defend. And I'll go into Zealot Archon, which hard counters Zerglings. Sorry, I had to mute my mic to sneeze there. getting a bit excited watching this series. Scarlett's built so many Zerglings. She was really expecting Blinkstalker aggression, so she's overcommitted to countering that, like in that last game. And this time, Astrea's like, dude, I got 76 probes, and I'm leaving nothing hanging out. Lings on their own can't break this. If she went for like a mass roach Ling attack, she could have broken this because he's got so few units. But instead, he's gone away with some disgusting greed. His oracles come in and grab 5 more workers. Her queens do quickly respond. He loses one of his oracles, but he sees no hive. He's like, yeah, that's fine. I'm doing great. I'm massing Zealot, Stalker, Archon. Like, have fun dealing with this. 4 more gateways are going to go down. That's 12 gate production for ASTREA. He's got an oracle up there. He doesn't have a robo. That does start now on the natural for observers and warp prism, but he's got the oracle for detection. I wouldn't be surprised if he builds another one. He's actually adding Psystorm already. Interesting. So he's really going up that tech tree, and she is on Ravager Bane. The problem here is even though she's got a good economy, he's got a bigger economy. Nice defense of the stasis trap there. She just takes it with the queen, chumps it, and still seeing Mass Roach. He knows she's on Mass Ravager Bane. The problem is he's going to max out on units that are higher quality than Ravagerling Bane. Ravagerling Bane is not a super long-term composition. If she doesn't start a hive soon, he doesn't have any pressure to move out. He can just defend with Psystorm, Zealots, Archon, Stalkers, wait for her to throw Ravager Bane, because the pressure's all on her. She has to attack an Emmet. Look, he's even building pylons out here to kind of slow down any advance of Zerg, just to interrupt their progression. Extra cannons, why not? Build cannons and batteries everywhere. He's got 5 cannons on his 4th base. He's building extra cannons on that base. He's spread his units out. He's just saying, I know you have to attack me. He's staying very nimble in this series, and you can tell Scarlett, she's basically saying, I am all in on +2 melee Ravagerling Bane. Now, don't get me wrong, that's a scary timing. I've seen Reyna win a lot of games with this timing, even when I thought his opponent was prepared. There is now 7 High Templar, each with a Psystorm, banked up and ready, and the Stalker's warping in. He's almost max. That's a big problem. She's got 12 Banes, 22 more on the way. It's going to be 34 Banelings, 6 Ravagers, and another bunch are morphing as well. She's going for it. She's got a bunch of Banelings. They're going to come from this side. But where do they get in? They're going to have to click on a gateway to get in that mineral line. That's very expensive. Storm is available. Stasis traps coming down as well. ASTREA. Oh, juicy storms and stasis traps. Banelings on the bottom. The first set of Banelings get taken out by the Zealots there. She's coming in with another wave over there. The Stalkers and the Psystorms clean up every single Baneling on both sides. An absolute slaughterhouse. ASTREA, seeing the lack of a hive and an infestation pit, seeing the lack of any sort of transition, knew that he could just sit in his corner and defend. Great scouting for ASTREA, great response, and now Scarlett finds herself trapped on Ravagerling Bane, and his army's getting better. He's gaining more energy on these High Templar, he's adding more Archons. Her army is not getting better. Her army is getting worse over time. The pressure is on the Zerg to make something happen here, but she let ASTREA get too established. She made too many Zerglings off of 60 workers and gave him a free pass to the late game. ASTREA says, free pass to the late game. Let's go! Stalker's warping in. She does ambush him a little bit, but on the right side, look at that. The cannons are defending everywhere. Psystorms holding back the Ling Bane onslaught. Those High Templars standing strong in the face of the Zerg. Her cannons his cannons are ripping apart her Zerglings. She just can't get in, and it's time to counterattack. Warp Prism comes in, a couple Zealots warp in. The Prism will go down. The backstab will go down, but she lost 10 drones during this as well. She was on 85, now she's down to 75 workers. She's got to rebuild those. He's got 5 High Templar gaining energy. ASTREA takes that 5th base. He delayed the 5th a long time. If he took that 5th earlier, I think she could have found some really good trades because he would have spread his army too thin. But ASTREA says, no. I remember what Frodo said. I don't want to be like butter, spread too thin across too much toast. I want to bloody put it on thick, like a man who knows that the proper amount of... he's American, so it's not butter, it's peanut butter. My favorite spread of all time. And let's be real, the correct thickness of peanut butter, 1 inch. Everyone knows if you don't have almost, at least, maybe not a full inch, maybe 2/3 of an inch of peanut butter on your sanger, you're not putting enough on there. You gotta put it on thick, and that's exactly what ASTREA did this time around. He says, no. I layered my defense, 5 cannons at base, batteries, High Templar Archons. I want all the good stuff, mate. I'm not actually exaggerating. As a young boy when I was growing, I used to put pretty much a full inch of peanut butter on my sandwiches. It was good. It was thick bread, but still. Anyways, this is really bad for Scarlett right now. Fleet Beacon, Stargate transitions on the way. She can still survive with this army. Like, if he just pushes in and she surrounds him, I feel like she crushes. He's just not making that mistake. And it's like he's just got such a good read on the fact that she is so stuck on lair tech, and he's like, well, Even if she goes Hive now, what's she going to do with Hive? I mean, Broodlords are the only scary thing. He's going triple Stargate, Fleet Beacon. He can make Tempests or Carriers to deal with Broodlords. Her Hive finally starts at the 12-minute mark. But we see here the weakness of this style, especially on Babylon, where it's quite closed off. If you can't get that attack angle, maybe a Nidus, maybe some drops would have helped. Oh, big storms. Watch out, Scarlett. Whoo! And now as the Archon count grows, this gets really scary. This gets really, really scary, guys. Because suddenly your Ling Bane just washes up on the Archons and the Storms. And what do you got? 5 Roaches and 9 Ravages? Like, what is that going to do against 25 Blinkstalkers? Nothing. She's trying to come in. Sorry for the observing there, guys. Got excited. Whoa! What is happening right now? The Banelings, as I said, they wash up on the Archons. 4 Archons go down. She loses her entire army. He remains maxed out throughout. We got to rewatch that fight, guys. Just, oh man. I mean, this was beautiful play by ASTREA, but I think it all comes back to her taking a bit too much damage from their ass and then massing too many Zerglings. She anticipated that he was going to do the Stalker pressure, but he scouted her Evo chamber. He knew she was doing the same style from the previous game, and he said, well, I bet she does the same thing and masses Zerglings on 60 drones. She does it. The difference is he doesn't attack. He just sits at home, builds up his economy, walls everything off. Turns out Ling Bane sucks at breaking walls. It's not good at getting through big, thick gateway wall-offs. And ASTREA, mate, walled this base off so well. This base was beautiful as well. I mean, this is very hard for Scarlett style to deal with. Great flexibility by ASTREA. Happy to swap from the offender into the defender. Gets the 4-1. And he becomes champion of the Americas. GG, well played.